Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, the global economy seems to be settling back into a low growth phase on the back of the sharp rise in policy uncertainty in the US. But first, over the weekend, China released its February PMI data and it was not negative. Their official factory PMI shifted back to a very minor positive expansion, and that's probably being generous. Their services sector is also officially expanding, but also minorly. And India reported fourth quarter 2024 GDP results, and those came in at 6.2%, better than the 5.6% rate for the third quarter, but just missing analyst estimates of 6.3%. In the US, the widely watched PCE inflation level came in at 2.5% for January, down from 2.6% in December and back to November's level. From a year ago, personal disposable incomes were up 1.8%, but personal expenditures were up 3%. So this isn't trending in a favourable direction now. People will notice that and take household budget actions such as increasing debt or cutting spending when uncertainty levels are high. When uncertainty levels are high, spending cutbacks are more likely. The sharp jerk in trade policy direction has brought sharp changes in American commercial behaviour. First, there was a large spike in imports, up 12%, driving their merchandise trade deficit to a mammoth $153 billion in January. That's an all-time record high and by a country mile. Secondly, American inventories jumped in January, especially for consumer goods, which were up 2.1% from a year ago. Retail inventories rose even faster, up 5.1%. And the Trump administration designated importing timber a national security issue, justifying new tariffs. And north of the border, the good Canadian data continues. This time it's their fourth quarter GDP, and that was up 2.6% from a year ago, better than the third quarter's growth of 2.2%, and much better than the expected fourth quarter rate of 1.9%. Driving the rise was rising household spending, rising exports, and rising business investment. Global air travel is rising fast. International passenger travel rose 12% in January from the same month in 2024. That makes it an all-time high, eclipsing pre-pandemic levels. Asia-Pacific travel rose more than 20%. Meanwhile, air cargo traffic rose 3.2% on the same basis, although up 7.5% in the Asia-Pacific region. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.20% and down 3 basis points from this time Saturday. And the price of gold will start today at just under $2,857 and up $12 from Saturday. Oil prices a little changed though, still just under $70 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is still just under $73 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now at 55.9 US cents and down 10 basis points from Saturday. But that is a 160 basis point drop in a week. Against the Aussie, we're little changed at 90.2 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're also a little changed at 53.9 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 66.2, unchanged from Saturday, but down 100 basis points for the week. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.